Happy New Year. Welcome, everyone, to the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, a very special year-end awards episode. I am your host, the Indie God, the Deathmatch King, always ready, Matt Cardona.
And I am your host, the most professional wrestler, TNA wrestling star, and the Scottie Pippen of wrestling figure collecting, Brian Myers. Hello, everybody.
Hello. I'm also here, producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling Esquire, the most famous professional wrestling lawyer, and this show is brought to you by our good friends, Ringside Collectibles. Use code MAJOR to save 10%.
Can you believe we started this podcast in August 2018? It's now January 2024. Unbelievable.
It's good. That's a little disturbing, but
2018, 2020.
getting old.
This is numerically episode 281.
Oh, my God.
Wow. What are we going to do for the big 300?
300. I was just thinking that today when I made the number.
We should all
still
wear
got some
like
time.
300 outfits from that movie.
Or do the workout leading up to it, right?
Remember that fad? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
The 300 workout.
Oh, so stupid. That's like...
I remember Charlie Haas telling me, I do the 300 workout. I remember Charlie Haas telling me that in the locker room.
Who,
like
Charlie
keto
Haas?
Stupid.
Yeah.
But guys, listen, our schedules are crazy. We're recording this in advance. We were going to do a plain Q&A. We said, I said,
I also said aye. So
Yeah, that's true, Mark.
Well-
when Monday Mark finally looked at his phone, he...
Oh, get out of here! Well, you don't even look at your phone on Mondays.
Well, you guys both said, Who's the one who organized it all, set it all up, though? That'd
sorta.
be me.
Sure.
Sorta.
AKA,
What do you mean,
AKA Boston
sorta?
Around D. What do you want, an award for Boston Around D Freedom?
I came up with all the categories. I asked for feedback. None of you guys responded. Nothing. You ghosted me all weekend, but we're here now.
Combined
The
3
votes are
kids.
in.
How many you got? None. All right.
He's got more pets than we have kids.
Yeah.
I didn't know you have to not work when you have kids. That's weird.
Well, sometimes you got to check out and be a father.
This is the passive-aggressive year, I think.
Well, anyway, guys, we're here now. All the votes have been calculated, and let's be honest, guys. At the end of the day, this is just us talking about figs. This is not official.
I mean, it's opinion-based, like anything we
It's
say.
opinion-
Well, our awards are 1,000,000% opinion-based, and you can tell by the winners. And then the group... we did it by poll, and it is like, some of them were very close. So you're going to see the winner, but like the number 2 could have been 5 off, out of 500 votes.
We're not doing the top 5s. We're just doing the winner.
Right.
That's it.
Some of those,
Flat out winner.
when they're close, I think we can acknowledge the closeness. But some of the people that were even nominated in that poll were like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so
some of them were also wildly wrong, like figures that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Well,
What
that
we did
happens
was-
every time we do something like this.
Right.
yeah,
There's discrepancies like that.
right.
We set up polls for the Major Marks in the Facebook group, majormarks.com, and we said, feel free to add in your own nominee. So we didn't just like put up 5 and say, may the best man win or may the best figure win. We let the fans add their own nominees. It got a little fun, but I think let's start it off. We'll do my winner, Brian's winner, Mark's winner. We don't know each other's winners, and then we'll do the fan win.
And this is something worth saying. We've added. I mean, look, we've done this. Literally, we've done this episode. Every year since the beginning of the podcast. At least some semblance of it. But for the most part,
we've only done figure of the year,
Yep.
like non-wrestling figure of the year, and worst figure of the year. That's it.
right?
This is a
And
full
then we've given our top
award
5, and in past years we've
Yes.
given their top 5 of these 3 categories basically. So we're changing it up a little bit this year. We had different categories, but you'll see what those categories are as we go.
Where do you want to start, Mark? What do you want to start with? Get this one out of the way. The non-wrestling figure of the year.
I think the list that you made, if you go backwards, it's kind of perfect because then you end with the
I was
figure
going
of
to
the year.
suggest the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, so non-wrestling figure of the year. My pick from NECA, San Diego Comic-Con, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Keno. What an incredible figure. you don't even see it pictured there. It came in a pizza box. It came in the pizza box. You get the pizza, shirt. You get the magnet that you'd get from the pizza place, the keychain. You get Keno. Keno was somebody who I needed in my collection. He comes with the bike. He comes with a pizza pie. It's unbelievable figure. I mean, I check it out right here. I got it. I brought them all here just to look at them last time.
Also,
figure.
I'll just, while you're talking about this, I'll just mention this is mine as well. So this is the one that one. We don't even need to switch the picture. But the figure itself, the likeness is unbelievable. The way that it goes on the bike is perfect. It's like flawless. You know, sometimes you get something like that. It's like hard to get on.
It doesn't quite fit, right?
Yeah,
totally.
It's perfect.
Bro, what I love about it, it has for the back of the bike, it has like something to put the pizza in. You take it out and it's in like the pizza bag. Can you see that?
Yes!
Right?
Unbelievable.
But then you open up the bag and it's a box of pizza. Like
It's so
the detail
cool.
was incredible.
Yes, actually, the Secret of the Ooze line with their pizza boxes, the detail on it is insane. First of all, you can put the pizza inside, but like you see grease on the box. It's not real grease.
Right.
But the painting of the grease on the box is just like next level detail.
Why did this took so long? Because they had to get the actor to agree.
Yes.
So using his likeness.
Yeah,
And they finally did, thank God. So my hope is next year they get Vanilla Ice. Go Ninja, go Ninja,
Man,
go.
That would be a big get.
Oh my God, yes.
I would love it. But
And it's worth saying that there is another Keno coming, not as cool as this one. It's like
it's already out. It's already out. It's like foot soldier training.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not even getting that one. When I close my eyes, I think of Keno. I think of this one. But have you also seen that he played like the turtle, like underneath? So people
Donatello
made customs.
in the first movie.
Okay, so people have made customs where it's like Donatello with this head on it,
Yeah, it's perfect.
like
But
he's
like
the
what-
actor playing it.
But what is that? Like he's on a coffee break? Like why do you do
Yeah.
that?
There's like a really
coffee break
cool
Keno.
picture. There's a picture of him with the helmet off, holding it in his hand,
I
just like
guess.
smiling on set.
All right.
So,
But
A little
and
unnecessary, but I get it.
I'll give bonus points to NECA for all the extras they included to make this Comic-Con exclusive so much fun.
yep,
You know?
unbelievable.
All right, Brian, what is your pick for non-wrestling figure of the year?
Mine's a complete cop out because it's the only non-wrestling figure item that I purchased last year,
Okay.
and that will be the starting lineup: Hasbro basketball hoop set. And
Ooh.
my other one, I think this thing is awesome and very underrated. Two, I think the whole line was very underrated, but that line came out last year technically, so I couldn't vote for those. But people have been finding them at discount stores. So instead of originally like $60 price tag, then they got dropped down to $30 online, and then people were finding them at like TJ Maxx stores like that for $12.99. And now people finally have them instead of seeing the price and going, ugh, they're like falling in love with them. So I'm hoping there's some kind of shakeup. There's also that the news of the McFarlane Hasbro collab going on. I hope that bleeds over to sports toys. That would make me very excited. And my last random plug about this thing, people are finding this now at these TJ Maxx type stores for
I think I need to get it because we're the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
$2.99 they're finding it at TJ
Whoa.
Maxx's. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a really cool piece. And you could really do some cool display stuff with your NBA guys. So
Wow.
yeah, totally a cop out, but I also do think it's a great piece. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go to TJ Maxx tomorrow and look for it to go with my Matt and Brian ringside figs.
great call.
All right, and now, Mark agreed with me. Without further ado, the fan pick for non-wrestling figure of the year.
Here we go. Now, D Freedom made special awards. You'll see.
Oh my God!
I mean, that's a beautiful figure.
Unbelievable. Earl Sinclair. Guys, I have it right here, okay? It's unbelievable, this thing. Okay? If I didn't love the Keno so much, I would agree that this Earl Sinclair is definitely figure of the year. I can understand the fans' vote, and he won by a landslide.
Really?
This is a figure, when it was announced, I was like, who was asking for these dinosaur figures?
We talked about it. I'm sure it's just, I don't know if there's enough me and the bone for people like to collect these. I guess there is, but damn.
I don't know if we need Robbie, the brother. Was that his
That's
name,
what
Robbie?
I'm saying. Like, where does it end, right? I don't know.
This
Yeah.
might be it. This might be it.
The baby and him. Is that all they made so far?
That's all they make. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that might be it.
I'm holding this right now. It is heavy, bro. This is like heavier than an LJ and King Kong Bundy heavy.
Jeez.
This is exactly what NECA excels
like
at.
A Target in the or whatever.
It's a yes.
In the cool toy section. All right.
Yeah.
I would have collected. I feel like I would have collected this line, but a couple years ago, when dinosaurs came out on Disney, right?
Yes.
Is that on Disney? Or am I nuts?
It probably is. Yeah.
It was released on a streaming network, and everybody was like, "Oh, cool."
TGIF, bro.
And so I was like, "Oh, I love that. I'm gonna start watching it." I disliked it so much it made me uncomfortable. So I
well, first off, why are you wearing his shirt right now?
I am. Wow, you're right.
You're so uncomfortable about Earl Sinclair, but
I was thinking this is
a
a
bit not
Foley.
Appreciate about your trip down memory lane with dinosaurs.
It was like awkward. I don't know. It wasn't funny. I don't know. I loved the show back then. I just didn't like it when I rewatched it.
I watched so much of it, and I really couldn't tell you much about it because I was just a kid. I couldn't tell you one I couldn't.
Right.
I got nothing. I can't even remember I can't even remember an episode.
This is my Mick Foley shirt.
They all die. Spoiler alert! In the series finale.
Yeah,
wow.
that was
meteor hits.
Weird
the meteor
ass.
hits.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they went extinct. They all died.
They all died.
Well, I have no memory of that either.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Another thing that makes it weird.
That is
Guys,
super
I also
tragic.
I can't get enough of this award. D Freedom.
Yeah,
Round of
great
applause
job,
for
pal.
these awards. Unbelievable. D Freedom going the extra mile on this.
As voted by the major
Earl
marks.
Sinclair's got a plaque.
D Freedom went dark today too. Like we were talking to him, we went dark. He was just working on this awesome shit all day long. Great job.
He's the man. He's the man. All right, next up, I figured this needed its own category because of the love we give it and the community it has around it. Micro Brawler of the Year. My choice is Sting.
Ooh.
Retro USA. It's Sting. I have this right here. Listen, I'm a sucker for Great American Bash Sting. I ripped off the jacket for a WWE pay-per-view, even have an Elite. There's a variant in Japan gear, but this is the one. This Great American Bash Sting, Retro USA. It has the AEW logo on there, but I absolutely love it.
It's a luminary. Great. It's a
luminary Micro Brawler.
I didn't even think of that. Wow.
Micro Brawlers are some of my favorite things. I love them. I want to say they're so easy to collect, but they're not because then you get it hard to get chase.
Yeah.
You get it hard to get chase. But other than that, I love it. They don't take up a lot of room, I'll say that. But incredible. The face paint looks great. The jacket looks great. There's the finger tape. Just a A+ Micro Brawler, in my opinion.
Well, my Micro Brawler collection this year had to get downsized to just friends and ECW alumni because it was just too out of control. So I didn't buy many Micro Brawlers this year, but my pick for Micro Brawler of the Year, I went with the toyetic department. So I went with Black Machismo.
Oh.
Look at those hits. Deco hits on there.
Damn.
However it's made. By the way,
What?
ROH packaging on this Black Machismo.
Wait, so where did that was that in a crate? Or was it just a release?
Went up on the website, right? Like they
Damn.
did 2-week drops or whatever.
I love that.
Look
Why
at how much
is
color.
it Ring of Honor packaging?
Mark, you're as a Ring of Honor celebrity.
Remember the last time he did it, other than the cruise?
Did he do it on Ring of Honor? He's never been. He's never been Black Machismo.
Never in the history.
Mark, he did it in Alaska with the BWO against me, Bride of ESK.
So why isn't it the WrestlePro logo? Do you remember on the cruise when he called?
Where's the WrestlePro Alaska logo on there?
Do you remember when he called Moose Zeus? I lost my mind.
Yeah.
It's the highlight of the Jericho Cruise match.
What are you doing here, Zeus? Moose is just like.
I'm very perplexed. I don't think he's ever been Black Machismo in ROH. That was like a strictly TNA thing.
I mean, I know
way,
he's done it. He's done
It's very
it.
toyetic.
That's why I voted for it. The most toyetic Micro Brawler.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, I picked. This is just coming out now. This is a little spoiler for the crate this month, but Santa Danhausen.
That's actually a cool one.
I believe available on his Whatnot streams.
How come that doesn't have ROH since he's an ROH legend?
He's
Well, we don't actually see the
ROH
top,
legend
so.
packaging, and then not on this.
Danhausen does all these sneaky little things. He's
That's
obviously
why I love Danhausen. Love that Danhausen.
he's a
money-making
monster
machine.
merch seller.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Someday we'll talk about when Danhausen was coming to meet us that first time, and Broski's was not sure about it, but then after one conversation with the man, he fell in love. So.
Well, because when he first showed up, he was just in the voice the whole time, like, bro, this is weird.
In that regard, it was my first time meeting him too. I was like, this is a wild first meeting.
Well, when the camera's going,
I know, but I didn't know. I didn't even know what normal Danhausen was.
And he wasn't over Danhausen yet.
He was over, but not on AW yet.
Bro, no. This is like way before the AEW run starts. He's got buzz.
I know, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You knew who he was, obviously.
Right, you knew who he was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now he's so popular that he can get pro wrestling tees to make him a micro brawler that looks like Santa Claus. So
How many micro brawlers does this man have at this
a
point?
lot.
I
He might
gotta
have
start
the
making
most.
more. I gotta
His
start
wife,
making more.
his wife has a micro brawler.
It might, yeah. So does
does
Broski,
mine.
though. So does Broski.
It's different.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
and let's go to the fan pick.
Boom,
It is.
Shakalaka. Here we
The
go.
fans voted.
Scott Hall.
Scott Hall.
This one's
And
cool.
you know what's frustrating about this?
It's better than the Mattel one?
That denim color is probably better than the Mattel.
Well, we don't know yet.
Well, from what we've seen.
Yes.
Bro, I got
It's a
this in
little
hand.
frustrating.
I'm looking at it right now. It has the chest hair. He's holding a microphone, the denim, the ponytail, the
point.
toothpicks.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's iconic. I think it's great.
This was almost my pick. This was almost my pick.
It's
I
a
felt-
great one.
Compared to that, Jay Lethal is a little too dull, but it's cool
Yeah.
as fuck.
It's
cool as
definitely
fuck.
an iconic moment. The J is toyetic, but man, I absolutely love. I love the deco hits of the chest hair. They made something so simple look so good.
Right.
So that's
And
why
it's he's
I'm glad it
mid
won.
saying his famous "You know who I am." You know what I'm saying?
Don't
he's-
Yeah.
know why.
No,
I'm
why?
here.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's great.
Unbelievable. All right,
right.
guys, listen. This is big. We have our own category. All right.
I'm gonna predict landslide.
Major.
I'm looking at
bendy,
Broski's right now, and I want to vomit. So
Oh no.
Major
I want to
Major
vomit.
bendy of the year. Now, guys, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. I didn't vote for me or our company in any other category. However, my pick for Major Bendy of the Year, Indie God Matt Cardona. Now, hear me out here. Hold on. Hear me out here.
Hear me out.
Hear me out here, okay? New mold. The package is incredible. If you can go full screen to me, look at this. I'm holding the Indiana Jones package. It's a retro Indiana Jones. It's a callback. You know what I'm saying? Because he's Indiana Jones. I'm the Indie God. So it has that classic packaging.
got it.
TTD nailed it. But also the innovation. This is the first Major Bendy with a removable accessory. So I had to pick it. I understand the fan vote. I understand why that won, but I had to give myself chest hair of the year. Indie God. This was the year of the Indie God. My best wrestling year ever. So I had to celebrate it with this. And also, financially, like PowerCon took a huge gamble on us. We got a lot of money for these figures. They were hugely successful. So it was our first time branching out to a non-wrestling con. So a lot of sentimental connection to this figure, and I just absolutely love it.
Wow.
Mark, did you pick this one as well?
Yeah. Well, I'll just say the rest of the picks, the same pick, so we can put up the one image.
Wow.
Major Bendy's Figure of the Year by the Major Marks, by myself and Brian, Captain Joe.
Okay,
Shoes.
guys, I'm holding it here live. It's an incredible figure. Now, listen, I know you're going to say it wasn't. This was my idea to get this made.
But we also were like concerned that it might be a massive financial hit to the company because we weren't sure if they.
Well, it kind of still was, but the fans love it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, because we had to create a new mold. The fans, it sold out almost instantly.
Yep.
Joe Shoes had an incredible moment. It has the PBR on the shorts, the official, and like no bootleg, the official Pabst Blue Ribbon logo on the shorts.
The shirt,
It's
the
just a great
hose,
figure.
it's just the flip flops, or everything about it is so fun and unbelievable.
And Shoes is a Major Pod family member. The
And
community
he's
loves
living
him.
out a lifelong dream of having a figure, so that's also a cool thing to make true, you know?
It is. It's an unbelievable figure. The packaging is awesome. I like the size of it. It has fish flip flops on, and I will say he just posted this on a couple weeks ago. He posted this on his social media. His mom passed away, which our thoughts are with you, Joe, obviously.
Absolutely,
but he was very thrilled that she bought it herself.
Yeah,
on the website.
Refused to get a freebie. Wanted to
Refused to get a freebie. Bought a Joe Shoes when it came out in the limited time that it was available. And she was able to get it shipped to her, and she got her own Joe Shoes, before she passed away. So, and I know that meant a lot to her.
Very sweet,
so,
yeah.
But
It's
unbelievable.
it's iconic figure of the year. I don't quite know if it can be repainted, but you never know. Shoes is a creative guy.
Keep asking for a repaint. We got to talk to Shoes and kind of collaborate. Because he can't stray too far from the
Well, it's got to be some sort of button-down shirt and some sort of shorts.
Yeah.
So it can be done, but I do kind of like this is a standalone figure of the year. It's like I don't know if you try to top this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like
I do kind of understand what you're saying. Yes.
you
our
can't
good
top
pal
this.
Chris Grillcock says get some more.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God!
Keep it. The elusive.
All right, an idea just popped in my mind. So let me talk to you guys off air
Okay.
later. Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't tell. I can't
Paint
say
him in
no.
that Cactus Jack flannel you're wearing.
Yeah, I would love. That'd be great.
Great idea,
Oh
Mark.
my God! And you know what's
When
really
I put this
weird?
on, I never thought you'd say a single word about it. I'm like, I'm gonna wear a nice warm
Having a field
shirt.
day with this right now.
Guys, I'm today years old when I realized Captain Shoes doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah,
enough.
To be
Fair
totally honest, if this was like Raven's like gimmicks show or whatever he used to do, what was that called, Brian?
Yeah.
A high spot
Raven's
show.
Gimmick show.
Remember he used to do a high spot show where he would like take.
Overhauls your gimmick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if he was like, "Why is your name Shoes?" and he gave the answer, he'd be like, "That's terrible. That's the dumbest thing ever. Nobody knows that."
Because you don't wear shoes.
Yeah, it's not the answer. The answer is something even weirder. So,
I
anywho,
would be concerned if you were in like a fight with those on. I'd be terrified.
Oh my God! But I mean, you could take it off and slap someone across the face.
yeah, but
Yes.
he's a lover, not a fighter, guys. Come on.
Of course. Well, there's that too.
D-list porn star.
Yeah.
Joe Shoes. All right, up next, the ring/playset of the year. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't actually own this.
There's not a lot of
But-
options too.
I don't actually own this, but because of what it represents, and I'll explain in more detail, I chose the AEW announcer set from Ringside Collectibles. I love this for so many reasons. One, why, if toys are supposed to be for kids, correct? Right?
Yeah.
Why doesn't like Mattel make things that kids would want, like an announce table? Because you would use announcers. When we
Right.
were kids, we had the Grapple Gear announce table.
Yeah,
It was
man.
repainted so many
Yeah,
times.
Jim Ross with able to sit down was huge.
Right. And, so AEW, they made the announcers. They were exclusives. We still got them. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross. I guess they made Taz in the main line. But they didn't include headsets, but that's all in this package. There's the monitors that actually have action on the monitors, the table, the nice step and repeat behind. I don't, collect AEW figures, but for what this represents, whether you're an adult collector for figure photography or a kid actually playing, I feel like this is something that Mattel needs to start doing too, is make some of these things, these backstage things, these ringside things. Grapple Gear, baby. It was a whole line in the Jax days. And this reminded me of a Grapple Gear. And for that reason, I chose this.
Yeah, no question. But the interesting thing here is that myself and Brian also picked this.
Wow.
There you
So-
go.
I mean, my kids have this, and I've seen this, and kind of to echo what Broski just said, like they're literally kids playing with wrestling figures, and like, especially, and you failed to mention that backdrop it comes with. It's super cool, and it makes a big difference. Like, it's not just it makes it more than just a table sitting there. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
it really spices up the kind of vibe of it and makes it more fun. So that's why I picked it. And to be honest, there wasn't a lot of competition for it this year. You know, so
Well,
it was
I don't know where I put that step and repeat. I thought I had it on display.
slow year for play sets and things like that.
Well, unfortunately, the fans did not agree with us, and
Yeah,
I have a bone to pick with them, and I almost feel like this shouldn't win. But
Let's see.
Okay,
It.
let's see.
the winner is the
What?
classic cage play set from Mattel, which won by a landslide. Listen,
Re-released Cage.
I have it right here. That's the thing; it's a re-release.
This shit came out
They've
in
made this
2011 or something. 2012.
Not 2000. No.
14, maybe 14.
No, it came out in
Yeah.
like two. No, it did not, Brian.
16 tops.
No, 16, 17 it came out. 16, 17 it
Either
came out.
way, that's old.
But it's been so long since it was released. That's why I'll count it. Why I will allow this to work is because just like I said, you know, AEW made this announce table for kids. Okay, what about a fucking ring? If you're a kid watching AEW, you can't go into a store and buy a ring.
That part's weird. I mean, the ring were at one point plentiful.
But it's been years.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah, I
years.
know. Yeah.
So a kid, let's say a kid is watching. He's like, "Oh, I like AEW. I want to go to the toy store. I'll go to Walmart, Target." You can buy the figures. You can't buy a goddamn ring. Not every
My
kid.
God, I just realized that. I haven't seen that ring in a long ass time.
No, it's gone. Yeah, wish they could just keep releasing it. Like the ring hasn't changed. You know,
Right, and that to Mattel's credit, that's what they do. They keep releasing or re-releasing or adding new stickers or adding new features. So Mattel does keep adding rings. How can you have a wrestling figure line without a wrestling ring?
I agree, and that's almost it should be in the vein of like greatest hits. Like, okay, greatest hits exists if a kid's just getting into this, and then he can always find a John Cena, Roman Reigns, whatever. The ring should be in that same vein, right? They're like, okay, you should always be able to find a ring.
For either kids or adults for figure photography or whatever.
They did the ring with Cody, the regular ring with Cody that came out in the UK.
That was and then the Hangman one too.
So it would be. I feel like that would be a really good way to sneak in a repaint or even somebody else. You know, like that's a good way to
A smart Mark Sterling. Hey, a Justin Roberts.
The ring is so affordable too. It's like a $20 thing.
And it's actually a great fucking ring. They did a great job.
Yeah, it's like a pretty sweet ring, I think.
Now, I don't have, I have this right here, and I have the other one in my toy room. Does this ring have like the spring to it? Because I fucking hate that.
I think it does.
I hate that. It's impossible to like display figures in it.
I think. Because Mattel very rarely has made a ring without that. Yeah.
But hey, the fans have spoken. The winner is the classic Cage playset. Hopefully next year there'll be some more choices for us to go to.
I thought about doing like one of those, exploding things or whatever, but
You could have picked the ghost of the Nitro Arena.
Oh my God!
Since it
you know what I almost picked?
Funded. What?
I almost picked the Austin, the monster truck.
Honestly, that is the closest thing to like a runner-up, I think.
Yeah, but I think the AEW thing is the announce table is way more important.
More to a fig fed and a kid, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we hate to get negative here. Worst figure of the year.
Nobody hates this thing. This is a great
First
thing.
of all, I almost abstained because I really don't like it. But
oh, guys,
I didn't. But I'm looking at it right now. This is the first
What
time.
would this show be if we just said every figure is great?
Well, we know that there's bad
That'd
figures,
be
but we
not
don't
a
need
good-
to spend our
Listen.
time on it.
Yeah.
But here's the
guys,
deal: all of us have a different pick. All four of them.
Okay, that's good. So
Yeah.
four barrels.
4 different burials.
Let's go.
All right. I am also adding an asterisk to mine. Not only is it worst figure of the year, it's worst toy line of the year, which is not even a category, but Rush Collectibles and Larry Zabisco. Okay?
I don't know. Roadblock's worse, bro. Roadblock's worse than
No,
Larry.
okay. Roadblock was going to be my number one until I realized that Larry Zabisco has an uneven amount of bootlaces. He has more on one side than the other.
Hey, you never know.
These figures, I did it live on YouTube. You move their arms, you twist their waist, the bodies just explode like crash test dummies. The company has already folded. They've already called in quits. They're now doing monsters so they can scam the monster fans.
People are like still waiting for their shipments.
It's a fucking disaster.
Which is wild. Allegedly, we heard from a source that Larry has not been contacted or paid royalties for this. Allegedly,
So-
we heard this. So
The
I mean,
person who ran the toy company is still calling people names in DMs,
yeah, it's a pretty
possibly
total-
cancelable names.
Yeah.
Total scam artist.
ridiculous.
This line was a disgrace. There's nothing good about it. The fact that Larry got a figure, I think Larry deserves a figure, but Larry didn't even get paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's a horrible
Allegedly.
figure. An uneven amount of boot laces, which is like, it doesn't even make, it's not like 11 and 12. It's like 5 and 15. It's not even close. I can understand if you miss one lace, you know?
It's a little
but-
known fact that Larry did that. It's on his Wikipedia. It was for
It's fucking rotten.
quick twitch muscles in his right
To
foot.
me, to me, it is the worst figure of the year.
All right,
Oh,
Brian,
man.
what do you got?
My worst figure of the year. Everybody, all aboard the smoke train.
This was my number 2.
This packaging, atrocious. This figure, atrocious.
But can we say one thing? It is designed by Rush Collectibles. That's why the rest of the line got better.
And I mean, everything after has been a vast improvement, you know, like sculpting and whatever, but this is just so rotten. When this is in your hands and open, it's
The
like
elbow
another-
bends the other way.
It's another level of rotten in your hand. Yeah, the infamous cigar that we called a pig in a blanket, pig in a blanket sticking out of his mouth. I can say he looks like a Simpsons character drawing of The Godfather. So bad.
Harry Balzania on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fans who bought, their names would be on the back. So I bought it and I used the name Harry Balzania, and it made the packaging.
But then it also says parentheses Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, like you caught me, Mitch.
Got him.
But
Got him.
to Mitch's credit, he has improved.
It's a big
line
turnaround, yeah.
greatly improved. They actually look like toys. This looks
5
like a
figures
fucking
later, you
piece of
guys,
shit.
you guys were saying maybe figures of the year. You know,
The
they're
Metal
not,
Mission
but
maybe could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been if they were painted
Yeah.
the right color, the right material. But everything about this just
is
sucks.
a rough start for Grapples and Gimmicks with a decent
But
little turnaround.
he
so.
bounced back. So we
Yeah.
got to give credit where credit's due. He bounced back.
Luckily, this shipped with the Ahmed,
Yes.
right? I think if this came first, Mitch would be
true.
done, right?
True.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Listen, it's not bad. It's not bad. And that might be the best compliment you're going to get from me. I mean, here it is. It's not bad. It's really not bad. First impression, not bad.
Wait, where's the foot breaking?
Yeah, where's the foot break? Mark cut it off.
The
I
foot
didn't do
breaks
that. I
live
didn't
on that
touch it.
fucking stream.
Yeah, the
Well-
foot breaks off.
I did know the first impression of this figure was not where it landed.
All right. What
For
do you
you
got,
guys.
Mark?
Well, I picked the roadblock. The Rush
Wow.
Collectibles roadblock.
Balls Mahoney?
Yeah, you know, whatever. We talked about it. There it is. Pretty terrible.
Comes with an accessory. I'll give him that. That's
I will
pretty
say
nice.
that. Yeah. Remember
I
we
picked
couldn't
it-
figure
I
out
picked
what-
it-
Remember we couldn't figure out what the accessory was called.
By the way, yeah, that thing is called a roadblock. We didn't. There was an episode where we were trying to decipher what that name. You know, the thing you put in the street when you don't want anyone to go by. It was pretty embarrassing, but anyway.
Well, you
So
know,
is this figure.
I picked it based on the fact that it blew up in your hands. So, you know,
Yes.
whatever. You can't get worse
This-
than that, right?
He's like weird with like the paint on his face. There's a lot of issues. with
Also,
this,
both
too.
these figures they were molded in white plastic. So everything that's painted over, so it makes the skin look like pasty and like sickly. Horrible. So glad this is over.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right.
I
Well,
will remember you.
the Major Marks picked an interesting figure.
I can't believe they picked something else. Oh, this figure is-
The Super 7
right.
Andre the Giant.
And to be fair, Mattel's got one coming out that's going to really put it underground. Yeah.
It really, I mean, look, we opened this on the podcast, and you guys took it out of the packaging, and you know,
In person, it's not.
It's better in person.
in person,
Right.
it does not photograph well at all.
The chest color thing, very
It's
weird.
not great, period. But in person, it's not as horrendous. I'll say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's that John Favreau head that everyone was obsessed with. It's pretty rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this, guys. So I'm recently, with the holiday season, as I'm off time, reorganized my collection, my display, and my miscellaneous shelf. Right. This Andre bagged up.
Yeah, I cut it. I cut and sold it. I don't even own it anymore.
The blackstrap Andre bagged up. The Japanese one I kept in my Japanese collection, and then I put the first one, which I think is really, really good.
The first one holds up the best out of all of them. It's
Yeah,
actually a pretty good figure. Yeah.
That's front and center in my miscellaneous section, and then there's the Matt and Brian next to it, and the Good Brothers next to it. So it's like a Super 7 family. Because I do think Super 7.
I have a similar situation on display. Yeah.
I think if Super 7, they didn't really, we always say you can't be half pregnant, but Super 7 was half pregnant with wrestling. They didn't
Yeah, I don't
go
know what-
all the way in.
Yeah.
And-
And honestly, if they did, they could make some really special stuff.
Right.
I mean, and honestly, a lot of the New Japan stuff I think is pretty awesome. Like,
right.
really awesome.
And this one, I understand, it's an ultimate, costs a lot of money, but you get nothing. You get a little beer can.
That was that was the real issue, right? Compared to even the other ones. Think about the first one. You got like 2 jackets, soft and hard. This is down to like bare bones, like nothing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Listen,
And like I said, Mattel is making a yellow trunks Andre that's gonna.
Is it not already out? Oh, that's right. It's a Target.
Yeah.
That's right.
Coming
Yeah.
any day now. So.
All right. Well, listen, Super 7, we still love Super 7. We're still waiting for our Series 2. So Super 7, guys, don't hate us. We didn't vote for you.
No.
It was the fans.
It was the people.
Hey, D Freedom, when you post this, just write Super 7. Don't write at Super 7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need them.
Yeah. Little
any more
note.
mad at us
Just
than they
write
probably
Super
are,
7.
yeah.
Don't at them. Don't at them.
Yeah.
Chris Stanley makes a good point. It made some great memes.
Oh,
It did.
that it did. That it did.
This one, really, really funny. Retro figure of the year. Let me clarify, guys. It's not just Hasbro-esque. It could have been the bone crushing actions or the junk shop dogs. Anything that's like a retro. It could have been a big rubber guy. Could have been a major bendy. Retro-esque.
I didn't even realize that.
Me neither. Me neither.
I personally picked a retro style figure.
I would have wrote vintage style figure of the year then because
The problem is you can't edit polls. So like once it was, if you actually read the 5 print, it said that. But
okay, sure.
Got it.
I
Either
don't
way,
know
I
if you
think
guys-
the majority of the people
yes.
are Hasbro style fanboys anyway. So, but whatever.
And I took a good hard look at Mattel retros, zombies, the Cella company, or whatever you want to call them, the wrestling something wrestlers from figure collections. You guys might not believe what my pick is, but I stand behind it. It's the guy who almost ended my life and career, Nick fucking Gage.
Oh,
Wow.
I thought you were going to say Greg the Hammer Valentine.
No,
Hey, you, Matt Cardona.
Series 2, Nick Gage, bro. The face is dead on. It's got the T-shirt, the MDK hand pose. He has the pizza cutter that actually, turns and slices. The light tube, the shorts, the boots, the painting of the soles. It's just an unbelievable figure.
Have you talked to him about this? Like, did you ever have a conversation?
Absolutely.
What does he think?
Absolutely, I have.
What does he think?
No, he chased me with a pizza cutter. I couldn't talk to him. I tried to talk.
Okay. Oh, I got it. You were like, I want to know about the figure.
Yeah, that's how it went.
I just absolutely the molded bandana. It's an incredible fucking figure. I'm so glad that he got recognized in figure form. I love the GCW logo on it. Makes it official. I mean, this guy, whether you love him or not, he has some sort of connection with the audience that cannot be described. And I was in the ring with him for Homecoming, and he made his entrance. And I was in the ring. I was like, holy shit, this guy is like the GCW Rock. It was unbelievable.
At the time of this recording, that's the only official GCW figure released, right?
Officially, yeah.
I know your ringside ones are going to have it, and I guess the Zombie 2-pack, right?
And we've done some GCW guys and girls in our bendy line, but we never had the logo on it.
Not like with the logos or Matt. Cool.
So
pretty cool.
I absolutely love it. I love everything it represents. And even though I hate the man, I think this is the retro figure of the year.
Well, my pick is also from Heels and Faces Series 2. And I did a lot of soul searching on this one as well, but at the end of the day, what about me? What about Raven? The effort that went into this figure to the point that we know that Zombie basically didn't even make money on it. He broke even to make this thing as special as he could. Soft goods jacket, the flannel, Mark's flannel wrapped around his waist, going out of his way to license the band shirt from the actual band that he's wearing. The added articulation, even though I probably wouldn't have wanted that, but I understand the attention to detail. Like, if you're a Raven fan, you can do a lot of things with this. You can sit in the corner and sulk. You can do his Raven pose. Like, it's pretty freaking epic across the board. So it just was incomparable to all the others. I was very close to picking one of his Andres, but I settled on Raven as my pick.
Now, I love this as well. I'm a psychopath. Even with my Mattel figures, I don't take off soft goods. I feel like they never look the same as when the factory puts it on. So I'm thinking that I do want to get another Raven just for like research purposes, to take it off, to see how he sits, because I don't want to mess it up, because it's never going to look as perfect as it is in that package.
I see what you're saying.
I completely see what you're saying, because I did take it off and I'm like, oh, half like, is this out? But it's just in your head.
Right.
But
And the zipper, it's actually a working zipper,
it's a real
correct?
zipper. Yeah, it's
Ridiculous.
Guys. Elbow joints, shoulder joints, hip joints.
It's perfect. Have you gotten this signed by Raven yet? Has he seen it in person?
I don't think so, because he had a shoulder surgery or something. So he's been like kind of not out there since this has been on the street. So trust me, I will hunt Scott down and get that done for sure.
Well, since we're talking about Raven, the Major Mark pick is actually this figure.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So they agreed with you, Brian. And this was up there. So my pick, guys, was
USA
the Bruiser,
Lex Luger.
the Bruiser Brody Heels and Faces. So it's a clean sweep for Heels and Faces.
I obviously thought of this as well.
I actually had this jotted down as figure of the year, and then I saw that there was a retro figure of the year, so then I changed it.
Yeah,
Got it.
But I love this. The jacket is the coolest thing that I've ever had on a Hasbro style figure, I think, ever.
It really makes it.
The face and the scars, the boots, it's unbelievable. It's a perfect embodiment of this Bruiser Brody person and character. If you own a Bruiser Brody one, I think this is the one you need. It's just so cool and so awesome to have in the same shelf as the Hasbros that we love so much.
It's crazy that, like, to me, that's hands down the best Bruiser Brody figure that's ever been made, and that's in the year that Power Town made
An
a pretty
ultimate.
badass ultimate. Of the guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is even better.
So
And
cool.
what's really special about this figure is if you pre-ordered, the incentive was you got the vest. If you didn't pre-order it, it comes with no vest.
I actually think it's not my number one if it has no coat.
That's fair.
Yeah, I love that. coat.
It makes a huge difference when you see it mid on card without that coat. You're like, what the? It just takes away. Like,
Right.
yeah.
I love it. All
All
right,
right.
guys. Up next is the multi-pack figure of the year. I chose the Mattel Retro 4-pack with the orange cards. Tugboat, Lex Luger, Doink, Greg the Hammer Valentine. They came as one set. They're all individually packaged, but they're in one box. You can only buy it as one set. I love these. These are all the hidden, unreleased gems from the Hasbro line. Tugboat, Luger, Doink the Clown, Greg the Hammer Valentine. I even have right here, I bought it from Brian on Whatnot, a signed Greg the Hammer Valentine.
He was too scared of Greg himself.
That is very true. And you know the story. I'm not going to bore you with it. I have the Rhythm and Blues Greg the Hammer Valentine that was unreleased. As a matter of fact, I have the Doink that was unreleased. I have the Tugboat that was unreleased, and the 2-Up, and the Luger I famously was outbid on. I almost had it.
Man.
But now I have all 4 of the figures that should have come out, and I kind of wish that these came out back in the day. I feel like the line wouldn't have been on ice if we were getting guys like this instead of like Sami Zayn. No offense to Sami,
Unbelievable.
but we don't. These are not for kids. The adults want these.
It's fun that all 4 of these have like a historical significance, right? To the
Yeah, and that's why
Yeah.
to me it's perfect. It's perfect 4-pack.
This was coming up to the plate and not only hitting a home run, but hitting like a grand slam in the game-winning situation of the World Series. This was exactly what they needed to do.
And being an
this line.
online exclusive in that realm, right? Like kids don't need to see this in the stores.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Oh my
No.
God.
They don't even
If you're
know it
near
exists.
40, like all of us, you're going, oh shit, this rules.
That Greg would have died a horrible death on the things.
Yes.
Yes, probably Tugboat too. The Tugboat Elite, I remember hung around for a long time.
That's true.
Yeah. My pick, very simple pick, but I gave this some thought, and I'm thinking, man, this was just kind of oddly perfect. The Hookhausen 2-pack.
I almost picked
Amazon. I mean, first off, it beat everyone to market, right, with Danhausen. So that was pretty nuts that your first Danhausen figure is this Amazon exclusive. I don't know, affordably priced. I love AEW 2-packs aesthetically, like how they look. Like
It's clean, good for signatures.
like
it's very
that.
BCA-ish, right? With
Like,
the
it's just a
sort of
perfectly
inserts.
clean, aesthetically looking 2-pack. I appreciate that. And then it was just two really nice figures, two like guys that got their rookie figures this year. They're hot characters that kids and fans want. Where normally that's not the case with these 2-packs. They're normally pretty not memorable, I would say. But this
Right.
was-
Also,
this
very
was cool.
accurate figures.
Two exceptionally well done figures. So I just thought it was a nice piece.
And this has a hard goods cape, correct?
That's the difference on the Danhausen, the hard
See,
goods.
to me, I'm a hard goods guy all day. Give me hard goods.
And his chase might have the hard goods, right? The single chase, but either way, pretty nice piece. The only way it hook in the black shorts, so that was cool.
And the only person that this team ever pinned was me. So
There you go.
There you go.
now,
Hookhausen's had a match, right?
a match.
It's wild. Doesn't feel like that, but wow.
They beat me, and they thought we can't get any better than
Again,
that.
it's not going to get higher than this, man.
Right? So I had the same pick as the major marks. So here we go. Oh, God. Here we go.
All right.
The Blood and Guts MJF versus CM Punk dog collar 2-pack. Brian, I'm surprised you didn't pick this.
Oh, stay tuned.
Aha.
All right.
Well, whatever. It's phenomenal. The faces are all unbelievable. The pose in the box, the blood, the packaging, the significance of the match, for somebody we know. It's an important match in the middle of the AEW year. It's just, man, it was awesome. And what a pack. And to be totally honest, they got it out pretty quick too.
Ringside Collectibles exclusive still available. Use code MAJOR. Save yourself 10% when you pick up this Blood and Guts 2-pack.
I love the Blood and Guts line. Listen, we do bloody figures, but AEW is a mainstream company. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool because WWE wouldn't touch blood figures. Mattel wouldn't touch it. So it's cool that AEW does. It's a whole line at this point. Really, really cool. I absolutely dig it. And even in the package, it looks great, like the way it's posed. I think AEW does a great job posing the figures in these situations so you can keep it mid on card.
Which you can't see in that photo is that the extra hands and heads and stuff are all on the sides in a window. So they are there and to be seen, but they don't ruin the visual of it, on its own.
All right. Well, up next is the exclusive figure of the year. Brian's going to hate my pick, but I chose the Gobbledygooker and Undertaker.
I thought about
Amazon exclusive.
I thought about
Guys,
this.
I've been waiting for years for this Gobbledygooker. I almost picked it for figure of the year. The Undertaker is great. It's fine.
Undertaker is great, guys.
But the Gooker,
It just gets passed over by the Gooker by all the.
the Gooker is unbelievable. He even comes with the interchangeable head to have like the later years head.
Yeah.
So I know Brian, he makes the Gooker a backer. I make the Gooker a fronter. Coming out of that egg.
Up against the wall, that thing is in the back.
No, he's right.
I have the Gooker on the top on its own thing by itself.
Guys,
It's
Thanksgiving was
absolutely
last month, okay?
10 out of
over
10
it.
figure, in my opinion. I absolutely loved it. I think Mattel nailed it. I even love that, like, you can't see in this photo, but the part that holds the egg turns into the stage if done correctly.
Yeah.
It's such a great figure, great execution. And and you get a bonus badass Undertaker as well.
Come on.
That is my
Come
pick
on.
for exclusive figure of the year.
All right, what did you pick, Brian?
My pick is the Walmart exclusive Supreme CM Punk, a figure that we thought was going to be canceled and we weren't going to get. It should have been Supreme Series 3. Where is that? We'll never know. Instead, we got a single release, and they pivoted, made it a Walmart exclusive, and it's the figure that, like, I didn't think much of until I had it in my hand. It's unreal. It's the most perfect CM Punk figure ever made. Like, I don't know what else you could ask for as a fan, especially the way they execute the tattoos and all the joints and stuff, all different heads. I mean, different lower body, the title.
The major marks agree.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Look at this.
Major marks agree.
Told you guys.
Unbelievable.
It really needs to be in your hands and opened, and like it's something that, like, if you like to display figures and pose them like I do, you really appreciate this thing. I mean, the soft goods jacket. There's so much to it that makes it like legitimately Supreme.
The one thing I would have done, Punk is known for sometimes switching. I would have made the other legs like pants, just so it kind of changes it up a bit.
I don't,
because the legs are interchangeable.
I don't think he wore those long boys that much, and there is that regular release one with the long boys, and then I think otherwise he wore those like really ugly white ones, right? Once,
right?
And then they've never touched that in figure form, and I wouldn't want to waste that on this personally, but yeah, that's another thing. Like in the there, it doesn't look like they're different, really that different, the two lower bodies, but they are pretty significantly different.
Okay.
One's
Man,
like
I guess I do need this, huh?
All camo print trunks, one of them, and then it's nice, man. It's like it's pretty free. How about this? It's the only CM Punk figure after what? Hundreds of CM Punk figures you can do the goddamn arm cross pose with.
There you go. There you go.
That's all the selling point you really need.
And let's also say that right now, it's on the shelves, hitting shelves while he debuts in WWE. So imagine a kid wanting CM
figure,
Punk.
Right?
You don't got to wait a year and a half. It's in stores right now. Just perfect timing, figure fate, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, I picked the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Muhammad Ali 2-pack.
I mean, that's a great one as well.
The reason I picked this is because I thought the packaging was very unique, and I thought this was an absolute perfect execution of a San Diego Comic-Con because it's not just a wrestling figure, but it's also like a figure with mass appeal. And if you're walking the floors of Comic-Con, you might not be a wrestling fan, and you see a Muhammad Ali 2-pack, and you're like, oh, damn, sick. An ultimate Muhammad Ali boxing figure? Yeah, I'm going to get that. So perfect execution.
My collection, I'm a let him breathe guy. I do all loose, but in my metallic collection, there are certain things I keep mint on card just to spice it up a little bit. And this is something like just like that photo, open like a book. I'm keeping it mint on card because it looks. You can't display your figure nicer than it's displayed right there. You know what I'm saying?
It might be the nicest packaging, display of all time, right?
Right.
Yes, and we know that Mattel, they must have spent a lot of money on Ali because he's got a basic coming, a retro coming, a superstar's coming. But hey, it is what it is. This one is incredible, a great, great execution. And I keep saying it every year, it's going to be hard for them to top next year at Comic-Con, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. All right, what's the next category?
All right, next one. New figure line of the year. I think we saved this figure line. Power Town.
My pick as well.
Power
Town.
And listen, I love these figures. I held them on my hands last year at the Tin Roof Show, live show, Orlando. And I said it then, some of the best figures ever. I love that these, they feel like, they have some weight to them. They feel like statues meet action figures. And look, I became pen pals with Magnum TA over it. He signed my copy. And there was a bit of a snafu. Thanks to Detective D. Freedom, we realized the legs fucking broke off. But, and this is the main reason why I voted for them as figure line of the year. They could have just said, fuck it. Fuck you fans. But you know what they did? They recalled all the figures. They stopped the shipping to the fans. They fucking were transparent, told the fans what were going on. They ate that cost. and they fixed the problems, reran them, and they came out and they were incredible. Now there are certain people who say that they don't like how they're not quite in scale with AEW or WWE. I don't quite mind that. Like I'm not 10 years old anymore. I'm not playing with them. You know what I'm saying? And
it's pretty damn close.
It's pretty damn close. And listen, even if you were playing with them, it's not like you're playing with an LJN and a Bendham. They're pretty damn close. It's a little annoying that they don't have some of the posability, because, they can't do like for instance, Bruiser Brody can't do his signature pose, stuff like that. But other than that, I love it. Brian and I have signed on to the line. We have a 2-pack coming out. They just announced Series 2. They announced TNA Wrestling. I'm very excited for Powertown. I love the people behind the scenes. And for me, definitely new figure line of the year. So Powertown Ultras. Let me be specific. Powertown Ultras.
No, but I voted for Powertown collectible coins.
Powertown bed sheets, my favorite line.
I believe in the people behind the scenes at Powertown, and I believe that they're passionate about what they're doing and they know what they're doing at the end of the day, which is also ultimately pretty important. And I think it's gonna be a really fun ride with them, and the people that they have under contract, that their catalog is so unique, right, compared to what other people are doing and stuff. And I think that's a lot of fun too. So, and hey, the TNA thing is a whole nother, thing that I'm crazy excited to be involved with. So, Powertown Ultras takes it for me as newcomer of the year, and hopefully for many years to come.
Love it.
Well, I picked the same line as the major marks. We chose the Big Rubber Guy.
Wow.
Nice.
So you guys
I'm
owe
honored.
me. Yeah, you guys owe me a couple of bucks here. You promised if I voted this. Just kidding.
Look at the notes I got when we hear.
Yeah,
I'm honored right now. The Big Rubber Guys. I don't know if it was whose idea to start the Big Rubber Guys. We were doing the bendies for a while.
It's Kinnick.
And, Brian and I, we wanted to be the guinea pigs, just like the Bendhams, to make sure we could execute it. And it took a while, a lot of trial and error. And we did. We did the Matt and Brian. They sold out. And now we've got Demolition. We've got Marty Jannetty, Sergeant Slaughter. Who else
hit me with a woo, Mark.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh, my God.
So let me tell you, as somebody who's not doing this, let me tell you, the major marks picked it too. And I picked it, so I'll tell you the reason. From the outside looking in, it's pretty crazy that it took people so long to nail this, and it took people so long to really push on the idea of continuing the LJN line. Right? As excited as the action figure community got for the continuation of the retro line, it's wild. Obviously AEW did decide to sort of try to do it. There was the Young Bucks thing a couple years back. They tried to do it, but nobody really
back in the
nailed it.
day.
I say classic superstars.
But the idea of actually nailing it, the rubber, the movement, the poses, the size, the packaging, it's just a perfect thing, because I've said this before. I think that there's a 30-year itch. Once somebody is 30 years removed from their toy that they loved as a child, they sort of want that back. They want to continue it. They want to get that nostalgia back. So this is right in that wheelhouse. You got so many people that loved the 80s wrestling, the rock and wrestling. That time period was such a boom for wrestling.
Up on it, yeah.
So it's a perfect thing. I think that I look forward to where it's going.
The other thing is to get the originals. Not so easily done anymore. You know what I mean? If you want all your childhood LJNs, it's going to cost you a lot of time and money. So I think this is a more fun way to go about it. And then, if you have them all anyway, then it's just an extension of that collection anyway. So,
and I do want to, thank, I feel like an acceptance speech. I want to thank my dad for getting them for me back in the day. No,
for sure.
TTD, who has an awesome video on our YouTube channel showing how he makes the Bulldogs. TTD, Kinnick, D Freedom, who helps with the reference shots and changing up things like things that need to be more LJN like. Josh Roop, who was our original sculptor who does our bendies. Brian Beatty, the legendary Brian Beatty, who is now on board. So, guys, we have some big plans for 2024. It's unfortunate, the pre-order is the order. So like we still have that haven't been released, but have been paid for and ordered. Janetti, Slaughter, Flair, Andre, Macho Man, some heavy hitters, and they're going to hit, and people are going, where do you get these? We're going to say, eBay, pal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, there's just no way around that. We're growing. We're trying to spread the word of this business and these figures, and it's just one step at a time. So something like this is a big step, right? Getting voted, new figure by the fans.
I know there's going to be some haters who think we kabuki'd the vote, but we did not.
Well, you guys didn't vote for it, so
I didn't vote for it, and I just learned of this as we're sitting here a couple minutes ago.
And this was one of those landslide votes, so I really, really appreciate that. We have some guys signed for 2024. We're trying, we're to work in silence. We're trying to sign when we can start working on it, because we don't want to be like other companies who sign talent and the figure doesn't come out for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. We want to sign as we're ready to work on it. So we have a tentative lineup all year round. But guys, I'll be honest, you're not going to get everyone you want in this year, because we don't want this to be a 2-year line. We want this to continue. We want to make people who weren't in WWF. We want to make NWA, maybe AWA, maybe international stars. And then, we will continue early 90s. But besides me and Brian, who were kind of guinea pigs, we're not going to be making current stars. That's for the bendies. The bendies, we love the bendies, but that's where you're going to get, you're going to get Heath in the bendies. You're not going to get Heath, big rubber guy. You're not going to get a Shoes, big rubber guy, unfortunately.
I don't know.
That would rule, but okay.
Man, that would murder somebody, I think.
And I'll pull the curtain back a second. Like, if I could redo Series 1, I would have not made Matt and Brian in classic poses. And then I was the one who said in Series 2, I wouldn't have made, because it's clearly I'm a Macho Man.
Right.
I would have redone that, so it's not. I don't want it to be identifiable. I don't want it to look like a custom. And that's why in Series 2, we made sure, hey, let's not do it in someone else's pose, because I don't want it to look like a custom. I want it to look like a brand new figure, something that would fit in the family. And TTD has been killing it. Brian Beatty, D Freedom, Knick is the guy behind the scenes, the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, dealing with the factories in China. And listen, there's been a lot of headaches. A lot of things have gone wrong. Some things you know about, some things you don't. But that's what this toy business is all about. And we thank our fans because of you guys and the success of this line, we were able, this toy line was started as like, and not even just Big Rubber Guys, but Major Bendy's, but kind of like just part of the Major Wrestling podcast. Now Major Bendy's is its own separate company, because of success, thanks to you guys. So we thank you guys so much.
All right, this is it. This is the figure of the year. This is the final.
No, we have two.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We have figure line of the year.
Do
we not have figure line?
Yes,
of the year?
you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. That previous was the new figure line.
New figure line.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this one, guys. To me, it was an easy one, and it's going to sound a little maybe like cliche, but WWE. Elite Mattel. I mean, how is it not the best line of the year? Do I collect them all? Absolutely not. I don't get current guys or girls. I just get the legends. But they keep banging out hit after hit after hit after hit. And it's been over a decade. And I just think there's nobody who does it
Bro, it's coming
as
up
consistent.
14 years.
Yeah. Just nobody who does it as consistent as Mattel. And we hate on Bill McKinnon, or specifically me. I bust his balls a lot. He screwed us out of those WrestleMania figures, and I'll hate his guts till the day I die for that. But at the end of the day, he does some incredible work, and now there's other people designing too. Corporate Steve, Ravishing Robert, just the whole team at Mattel for 14 years, like you said, making, whether you love them or not, I don't think there's any denying. I don't think there's any debate. The best wrestling figures of all time. Are they my favorite wrestling figures of all time? No. But there's no denying, in my opinion, that they are the best wrestling figures of all time. And that's my vote for figure line of the year.
Nice. Well, I went with what basically my decision that went into this was, what do I personally look forward to the most as a collector?
Okay.
And that is Heels and Faces by Zombie Sailor Toys. It's just like what I get most excited about when there's a release or when they're coming out. You know, when there's new images, it just seems to be the wheelhouse of my collecting these days. Obviously, like you said, Mattel Elites, incredible stuff, but I don't collect all that. I do collect a lot of it, but not all of it. So far with Heels and Faces, I've been a diehard and a completist, and I've been just so impressed with the quality every time. So I voted from a personal standpoint in that sense. Like,
they're great figures.
What gets me all boned up, if you will, and then right now it's Heels and Faces by Zombie Sailor Toys. So.
I think that might be my pick next year when Zombie has more of the the figures are in stock, ready to go, and there's not enough figures per year for me for it to be my favorite line of the year.
Right. I had that same thought about Power Town. I think maybe Power Town could be this next year if there's a couple more things in the wheelhouse instead of 6 figures. But
by the way, shouts to D Freedom for if you're watching the video version of this, has put together every figure from each line that we're mentioning is in the picture.
D Freedom is the best. D Freedom, I don't remember exactly when we found him, why we found him, how we found him. I'm just glad we found him.
On the streets, we found him. The streets of the mean streets of Ohio, we found him.
Well, for a similar reason as Broski, I picked the WWE Ultimate Collection as the line of the year.
Which is a more defined answer, I think, than the Elites, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, we keep saying they're the best figures. Every time, well, not every time, but most of the time that the figure comes out, it's the definitive person. That's right. I'm looking at it right now. That's my definitive Andre the Giant in my collection.
I agree with the Andre.
I'll literally look at like these pictures. What is this? 7, 8 figures? Every one of these is a smash home run, like knocked out of the park. And even the Randy is, except I wouldn't have given him that head. Other than that, but
I wouldn't have given him that jacket either.
It's not like it doesn't look like him or isn't a spectacular figure. It's just not an era of his career that you really want to celebrate. Other than that,
I think they're great figures, but like you said, look at the line. Like, I don't think now there are some exclusives, of course.
But in my mind, I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but in my mind, I was considering the Coliseum collection as well because they were Ultimate.
Okay,
figures.
fair.
It's fair. Yeah, they're definitely Ultimate. They count. They're Ultimate.
To me personally, there weren't. I did actually buy them all because for a time I was a mint on card completist and get the Lucy's are just the ones I want. I am now tapping out of being a mint on card completist because they were just making too many guys and girls who didn't really interest me. Not saying they didn't deserve Ultimate figures, they just didn't fit the criteria of what I collect. So that's why I went with the basic main line.
I mean, you're right. That Elites, man, so many in 1 year. That's crazy.
Yeah. A Mattel calendar year is pretty nuts.
All right, well, I have no idea what the Major Marks picked, so let's see what they picked.
Out. Ooh. Whoa.
The Superstars.
That's
Mattel Superstars figure line of the year. I love this line. Here's the weird thing. I didn't grow up with Remcos. I didn't grow up with AWA. But now I love that style. Maybe because we had the ringside collectibles figures of us like that, and I just got very... boned up about it. I went back. I got all the Remcos. I love these figures. I love the carding. I love how most of them are 2-in-1 with the soft goods. You take them off, they're not only a different character, but ring gear, street gear. I fucking love this line. I think it's a home run, and not that I'm a mint on card guy by any means, but I think they look incredible mint on card.
They do look so good. On card,
maybe better mint on card than they do loose. And I love that it's all uniform. I hate when lines switch things up. It's all uniform.
Yeah.
I could see this being figure line of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's a super fun line. Very detailed. Like, if you're into this, it's like, it's a home run, right? It's like, checks all the boxes. It's going to be fun to, like, see it keep going,
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot more potential. I mean, I feel like it's only just gotten started,
All right. Well, now it's time for the main event. I know Brian is probably not going to like my pick.
Again, this is our opinions.
Our opinions. Now, and I will say there's definitely some sentimental reasons behind my pick, but my pick for figure of the year is Mr. America.
I thought you were going to say it's the render of the Chelsea Green Elite yet to come out.
That's going to be next year.
Yeah.
But it's Mr. America. Now, let me just get it out of the way before you do. Not jacked enough, not tan enough. However, you keep that T-shirt on. You can't see that he's ripped
I
up,
agree.
right?
I agree with all that.
And for so many reasons. Now, listen, there's also a Chase variant. I love that there's the interchangeable head where it's like he's poking his face out of the mask. This figure was supposed to come out in the Ruthless Aggression days, in the Classic Superstars days, kept getting cut. This is the first time ever a Mr. America. It's got the correct boas. I just love it. I'm a huge Hogan fan. I was a huge Mr. America fan, and we got teased for over a decade that we were going to get a Mr. America. We finally got one. I think they nailed it. Now, I'm not saying I don't think we need another one. I think maybe if they redid it, made it a little more
Absolutely
jacked
not.
and tan.
No.
Yeah. The only way I would take another one is if, you know, how they do like the greatest hits where they update things.
Man.
You know, instead of giving him different elbows, give him a new fucking chest, a new tan. If you're going to do chest
new
and
elbows.
tan,
Just new elbows, man.
other than that, I love it. It's just a great figure. I love all the different hands. The hands all make sense. Man, I just love this figure. And it was a tough one, but for sentimental purposes, I went with this, Mr. America, my personal figure of the year.
Very fun choice. I agree. Great figure. It's almost like Gooker-esque for me. Like, it just wasn't like significant enough.
Insane.
In my wrestling history.
All right. Well, what do you got there?
My pick is completely biased, but the MJF versus CM Punk Blood and Guts dog collar match ringside collectibles exclusive is my figure of the year choice. The thing, like, it's just so incredible. The blood.
Well,
the details.
which figure?
It's the set.
Well, that would have been multi-pack of the year.
But you can't buy
Or exclusive of the year.
But you can't buy individually.
Mark, you agree with me?
I think this one's up. I think this could have been anything, and you'll see why. Because my answer is
You can't call ringside and say I just want the MJF.
Well, that's why this could be either exclusive figure of the year or multi-pack of the year.
But I think it's the greatest thing of the year. So it wins out.
I agree with that. I mean, we
But
said
is it,
figure,
but is it
but
the
I
MJF or the Punk? I don't think you
I
can
don't
do
have
both.
to specify. It's just it's the
I
set.
think you
it's
do. I think
it's
you
a
do.
dog collar match, bro. So you need two guys.
if you just have the MJF, it's not figure of the year.
Ooh, I don't know if I agree with these rulings, but it's okay.
Well, you're crazy. Interchangeable heads. The back to something I was talking about earlier in the show. Like, if you like to take figures out of the box and display them in poses, this is like the most fun you can have as an adult collector. Like, it's ridiculous the things you can do with these figures and the chains and the different heads and hands. It's just awesome. And obviously, I trained Max, and he's one of my good friends. And I thought the world of this match and even this whole feud. You know, they had some really fun, memorable promos and stuff. So, winner for me by far, ringside collectibles exclusive Blood and Guts dog collar match, CM Punk and MJF.
Chris Grocock is saying, so are you saying a bendy can't be figure of the year because it's bendy of the year? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is a 2-pack. So by my rules,
So
you
he
only
just
pick
caught
one
you.
figure.
Grocock just caught you, man.
No, he
Grocock
didn't.
just took
Yeah, he
his
did.
cock out and slapped you in the face with it.
No, because I think he's trying to say that it can't win because it's already won. That's not what I'm saying.
Brian, that was a little much there. Man. All right, guys.
Trying to ruin a moment.
I was really close to picking the Mankind defining moments.
God, I love that figure. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Almost picked that, but then last minute changed my vote to Brian's favorite figure of the year, the Gobbledygooker.
Yes!
The ultimate Gobbledygooker.
Yes!
Guys. So not
Yes!
in the figure?
Yes!
So here, let me tell you why. Broski already talked about this. I didn't talk about it when he brought it up on purpose because I had some answers. I love the packaging is unbelievable. It's so
Packaging is
nostalgic.
unbelievable, yeah.
Nostalgic with the Coliseum video stuff. I think that it represents such a unique and interesting moment in time in pro wrestling. It was so hot and it was such a miss. And it's just so cool. And it's just something that, like, I remember talking about with my friends for years. It was just such a wild thing. The execution of the figure itself is perfect. The stage, that is perfect. The egg, that is awesome. Yes.
According to Broski's rules, that egg and stage are in the packaging, not the packaging it comes in, so it can't be figure of the year. So
No.
you have to deduct those accessories
That's not
from
true.
this
No, the
answer, Mark.
accessories. No, because it came in the same yellow box. Taker. We all know he's talking about.
You're
Gooker.
literally making shit up on the fly here.
Bro, I made up these categories. I can make the rules.
Yeah, well, either way, gobbledygooker, I love. It's prominently displayed in my room, and I am devastated that I forgot to bring it over to my mom's on Thanksgiving to be the centerpiece of the table.
Oh man, how she'll never forgive you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's time for the main event. Guys, this is it. This is big.
I'm very curious, actually.
The major marks. The
Better
fans.
fucking not be the Gooker, I'll tell you that.
By the way,
fans-
can we say I want to tell you the runner-up. I want to tell you the runner-up to
I would
figure
love
of the
to hear
year,
that.
voted by the fans.
And this is a close runner-up.
Close runner-up was Bendy's Captain Joe Shoes.
Like,
Okay.
we're saying like neck and neck,
That's wild.
neck and neck.
The runner-up right there was Captain Joe
Good.
Shoes.
I hope Joe Shoe sees this and hears this and knows how much he's loved.
There was a period of time that he was in the lead.
Really?
Wow.
And Joe Shoes started to negotiate his rate for Live 18.
Oh, that's right. I did see that.
Yeah.
So he went from 2 hot dogs and a handshake to 4 hot dogs and 4 handshakes.
You're right.
Anyway, guys, the winner, figure of the year,
Wow. Damn, dude. I'm telling you.
Supreme CM Punk. Brian already spoke about it earlier. Can I just say one thing, guys?
What?
I'm the Michael Jordan of wrestling figure collecting. I was telling, Chelsea, her sister's here. I was explaining to her, I'm a broadcast journalist. I said, I need to do some research. I said, would you like to come to Walmart with me? And it was Figure Fate. It was on the shelves.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
I had to look at it. CM Punk, figure of the year. Now, listen, I haven't opened it yet. It's still in package. But I see what everyone's talking about. I see the fuss, It's got
It's great.
so much cool stuff. It's got the different legs. And, yeah, one is like gray tights and has logos on the kickers. The other is camo trunks, nothing on the kickers. Has the T-shirt, has the hoodie. It has the interchangeable hands, the title, 4 different heads. Two of the heads have like the hair is kind of in the face.
Yeah.
This
looks
is
a
to
little
me
more-
what a wrestling figure is all about.
And-
I love it.
In
It's
2023,
great.
yes, that's like what you should expect out of like an epic wrestling figure, right?
13 pieces. I love how it's displayed like he's walking out of the entranceway. I love that the hands and all the interchangeable parts of the side not ruining the figure like an ultimate. And I understand you need to show the consumer what's there, but see how they did it? It's on the sides.
Yeah, it's
on
best,
the sides.
It's the best of both worlds, right?
Like, I think Ultimates could figure out a way to, they have the same room. They could put it on the sides. They can figure out, they can adjust.
Hey, I
This is
I
it.
voted for the Ultimates, but I do feel the Supreme, is nailing the packaging for sure.
I guess the reason why I didn't vote for this is because I own it now, but I didn't own it before.
Oddly, I think you have to own it to appreciate it because it doesn't look that spectacular. Like,
Well, because, listen.
Right,
it's
guy
not
in
that-
trunks and jacket.
yeah, and his
Well, here's the
jacket.
problem.
His
Here's
jacket.
the-
Also, think about this: if you're watching at home, listening at home, whatever, his jacket's covering an insane
All
amount of
tattoos.
tattoos and like this unbelievable deco hits that you're not seeing at all.
I
So
guess
there's that.
my problem with it is that, like, CM Punk is very toyetic, and they, in my opinion, they chose 2 untoyetic outfits.
I hear what you're saying, but also like he doesn't
Like, I'm fine with making one, like, dark and,
It just
right?
would have been worse. If it was like, didn't he wear like those Muay Thai shorts one time?
No,
It was
but I'm
something-
not saying-
it was something like less
Sure.
evergreen. It would be terrible.
But
So I don't know.
I don't know if he ever wore hot pink tights, but couldn't that have been the other one? So there's, like, at
Like
least
a
some
Bret-
color.
I'm sure he had some Bret Hart tights in AEW. or something.
That's my complaint about it. But the articulation, the parts, it's listen. It's figure of the year. The fans voted. It is what it is. So I had to own it in my collection to really check it out. I'm not going to do it right here, right now, but I had to own the figure of the year, CM Punk. Not only figure of the year, exclusive of the year, and figure of the year. So that's how you have a good figure, and that's how exclusives. Shouldn't be overlooked and should be taken seriously by retailers because
And that's
not that they care if it wins the award, but
And take note that it was supposed to be Series 3 Supreme, that we don't know what happened to it, and we almost never got this figure at all. So, pretty wild.
Yeah. By the way, just to note here at the end, if you're wondering how do I vote? How do I vote in this? Well, we've talked about it all the time. Majormarks.com. the Facebook group, the community that we've been, kind of taking part in since before the pandemic or during the pandemic. It's been many years. Basically, all these things were voted by that community, which is a very strong figure community. And if you would like to be part of that and like to take part in these live streams, and all these other Q&A things that we're going to do, majormarks.com.
Well, guys, thank you so much. I didn't think we were going to go this long. Do you want to take 3 questions from the marks as we promised in the beginning of the show?
Sure.
Let's
we
do-
don't have to go
let's do
crazy
cr-
at all.
Let's do 3 questions. But Broski, throw us to the Q&A.
Let's go to the Q&A. This episode of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has been brought to you by Ringside Collectibles, the #1 online retailer of WWE action figures.
Go to WrestlingFigures.com and make a purchase. And when you do, use discount code MAJOR at checkout to save 10%.
All right, guys, it's time for the Q&A. We asked the fans, we asked the Major Marks in the Facebook group, majormarks.com. Sign up today. Ask them a question about 2023, 2024, not what our favorite color is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got some good ones.
We're going to answer 3 questions. Mark, let's go.
All right, Bacon Nate says, what was your biggest fuck yes moment in 2023, and how do you plan to top it in 2024?
Ooh. Are we talking like in the business? Are we talking finding a figure on the shelves? What are we talking about here?
I think it's up to you. I immediately thought of something in the business, but
Well, if it's in the business,
We're seeing Ric
Yeah, what's
Flair
yours,
in
Mark?
catering, sharing a woo energy with old Nate.
cheers in a woo energy.
seeing Ric Flair in the shower in the locker room. Woo! No hair, no flare.
Yeah.
Is that when you prove to him you don't have silver balls? You say no hair, no flare. Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
So what were you thinking of, Mark?
So I actually think a couple weekends ago, Final Battle was just a really cool wrestling moment. Awesome way to end the year. Got a lot of time on a pay-per-view. It was 20 minutes. It was like a feud that was entirely, sort of mine and Tony Nese's, equally, as opposed to like, standing behind Jade or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was just a really cool thing, and I didn't even realize how cool it was until it was happening. So it's just a great way to end the year, and I would love to continue that path next year for Ring of Honor or AEW or whatever it is.
What I thought of when you said that immediately was, there was a lot, right? The growth of the bendies and big rubber guys and this podcast itself. But wrestling-wise, I'm going to say in Chicago, Bound for Glory, with the announcement of the return of TNA wrestling, especially just, working there as long as I have now, gotten close to everybody. And then, like, on the real inside of it, like, some of us knew it was happening, and a lot of us were pretty deathly afraid that it was just going to be something that people didn't care about or drown out with CM Punk chants, and like neither of that happened, and it's been so wildly positively embraced. It's just been really cool to be a part of, because I've just really loved Impact Wrestling these past 3.5 years, and I'm glad that it's starting to get some love back from the people that haven't been watching. So it seems like 2024 is going to be really different in a very exciting way, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was in TNA off and on for a while, or Impact, and the announcement, I was like, holy shit, this is genius. I'm always trying to think of ways companies can be better or get better, and that would not have even ever crossed my mind.
I didn't think
is
it
to
would
go
ever
back
be
to
an
TNA.
option. I never thought it would be an option.
I didn't. Not only that, I didn't even think about it as an option.
Right.
So the fact that it came like out of thin air, I was like, whoa, that's fucking genius. So I'm very excited to see what happens next. Of course, we have the figures, so maybe one of the figures wins next year. But mine, wrestling related, cool year. I can't figure out the number one thing, but for me, maybe my Ghostbuster.
Finding your heater in Australia and bringing her back with you and
Changing your whole act.
hitting her in the face with the belts 27 times since.
Well, she's involved in it, but I would say the entrance at GCW Homecoming against Nick Gage, a story that was 2 years in the making. Year 1 at Homecoming, I beat Nick Gage for the title. Year 2 at Homecoming, he ruins my renewing my vows with Chelsea. Year 3, me and Steph against him and Maki with a deathmatch busters. I rent a real Ecto 1 for a WrestleMania entrance at the Showboat Arena.
Holy
so
shit. Only Matt Cardona, folks.
The match was what it was. I actually loved the match, but the entrance, to me is what wrestling is all about. I had my GCW homecoming moment.
Well, hear me out, broski. To top it next year, you do a Jurassic Park gimmick, and you rent a Brachiosaurus to ride in on.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I like that.
Man, I think we should just end it right there. That was a nice little...
Well, I also just popped in my mind for the podcast. The cruise was great for us, right? Broski winning the belt. I saw that picture today, all of us saying "suck it" with Swoggle and me and you and Broski on the stage.
It's great. Listen, being in WWE, it was what it was. It was awesome. It set us up for this. But I look at 2018, what the fuck did I do? We're
that's a funny way to look at it. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What really was accomplished?
Right, but I think is that
what,
the year
what was Kurt Hawkins 2011?
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I'd be really reaching for an accomplishment or even something positive.
Where in this year on social media, the last 2 weeks of the year, I tried to pick something every single day. My favorite moment, I was able to pick 14 favorite moments, and it was hard to pick 14.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So
That's
it's been so much fun, and I mentioned before, I don't care how you define success, money, happiness, accolades. This indie run's the most successful I've ever been, and I'm excited for next year 100%.
I got a couple more. Do you want to just end it on that, though?
I think that was such a nice note.
I think that's a good one. You guys, we appreciate.
We had great questions. There was 50 great questions, so we appreciate that. We did not think that this episode would go this long, but we did it.
But guys, hey, you know what? I have an idea.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Here we go.
January bonus episode, we get to those questions.
All right, that's a great idea.
Sure.
And then also, guys, January 7th, couple days, Live 18, Tin Roof, Orlando, Florida.
Everybody gets laid. That's the tagline.
I can't promise that, but I can't promise that. However,
if you show up in a Foley flannel, your chances are going to be a little...
I will say this. Full disclosure, we're recording this episode a little early. If the show is sold out, fuck it. We'll get you in. We'll make room. Tin Roof loves us. I don't care. We'll sneak in somehow. I don't care if it's sold out or not. We will make tickets available. We will get you in. The biggest fucking party of the year. Do not miss out. I promise you'll regret it. January 7th, Sunday, 3 p.m., Tin motherfucking Roof, Orlando, Florida, Live 18.
Oh, baby.
We're out of time.
1, 2, 3. I'll be back, Jack.
Join the community at MajorMarks.com and get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes footage, and become a member of the Major family.
You get bonus episodes on our careers, wrestling figure history, and exclusive interviews with our friends and legends in the business each month.
You also get early access to YouTube videos and, of course, the weekly podcast ad-free and breaking news updates.
Brand new shows featuring
Oh, baby.
and you. Each month, you can interview someone in the wrestling business with the Captain's Log.
Also, buy, sell, and trade in our exclusive Facebook community where people have become friends in real life.
Certain memberships include merch like monthly trading cards and quarterly mystery gifts.
Become a Major Mark and join MajorMarks.com today.